Hello, Dr. Ray.
Hi, Dr. Ray. How are you? I'm sure I'm going to get really good advice from you.
Well, I don't know about that.
You're right on track with us. You're right on track.
My idea, my theory, my guidance is a bit of a stretch.
Everybody make a mistake.
Does that comfort you?
No.
Am I close?
No.
You are so wrong.
You're so wonderful.
Why do I have to be the insightful professional?
Someone intelligent on radio. Yay!
Did I make you feel a lot better or what?
No, you made me feel worse.
Now, from the studios of Living Bread Radio Network in Canton, Ohio, the hometown of Mother Angelica, here's Dr. Ray.
Just got my award. Top 10% graduating class, Catholic Media, School of Broadcasting. I mean, like articulation and stuff. Good to have you with me. This is Dr. Ray Guarendi. Program here. The doctor is in. I am the doctor who is in. You can be in. Not as in cool. Not as in with it. In as in present. If you call 877-573-7825. Hard number to remember. Break it down into three memorable bits. 877-57 equal. Reasons for calling. Notice I'm becoming more like a guy as I get older. I'm dropping verbs out of my language. Just number to call. I didn't say things like, the number for you to call is, no, it's number to call. 877-57 equal. Come on in, folks. You have just doubled my listening audience. Got 4 people in here, which adds significantly to my listening audience. And by the way, Jim Carroll, if you're listening over there, Spirit Catholic Radio, your brother's here. Pat Carroll just walked in. Oh, yeah, they wanted to get together to have breakfast today, and then I ended up picking up the tab. So, but anyway, number again, 877-57 equal. Question about something in your life from conception to eternity. Toward conception, we get a little fuzzy. Out toward eternity, we have to speculate, but in this middle, this tiny little sliver called earthly life, is where we spend most of our time, whether it's a kid, job, situation, question about psychology, question about the intersection of faith and psychology, or it's just a comment. We get a lot of comments. If you want to help somebody else out, please feel free to call in if you had a similar circumstance. If you want to disagree with me, you will be put first up. Now, there's risk in that. Because on one hand, you won't wait as long. You'll be put up first. On the other hand, you'll find out why you were wrong. But that's okay. If you want to try it, go ahead. 877-57 equal is the number. One of these days, I was going to do a monologue on friendships. One of the things I wanted to point out. I'm not going to do that monologue today. I just want to make a head nod to it. As I get older, people in my life from many, many years ago are important. And I realize because so many of the things that I chased, that I thought were just so important, pale with relationships. Relationships ultimately are what matter. Now, I got a couple of guys in my office today. It's a little scary because I kind of know them a little bit, and apparently they were on a nuclear aircraft carrier. That makes me real nervous with those fingers of yours on those buttons. Okay, I hope they didn't give you the code, It was kind of beer tab button. They met 50 years ago when they were in the service. USS Enterprise. I think that ship was named after Captain Kirk. That's the only thing I can think of, probably after Captain Kirk. And that given, they have reconnected. Yeah, they've had contact here and there over the past 50 years, but they've reconnected. You've not seen each other for 50 years. Is that the truth? Do you still look the same? Do you say things like, you haven't changed a bit? Oh, okay. I used to get that when you go to reunions, you go to your 30th or your 40th or your 50th, and these girls come up to you and say, Ray, you haven't changed. And I'll say, well, that explains why I never got a date when I was in high school, because I look like an old man. That says it. All right, number again, 877-57 equal is the number. Quick announcement here. I got to make it. I wish I would remember my password on my phone. I'm going to put in, what I'm going to do for a password? Incorrect. That's going to be my password. So I'll just type in anything and it'll come back and say, your password is incorrect. Ah, thank you. All right. EWTN radio affiliate, WPBV. That ain't easy to say, guys. WPBV FM, 98.3, serving Palm City and Stuart, Florida. On the air for 11 years. 11 years, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations to Rob Shannon, Hans Krug, and all the voice there at Palm Beaches from us here on EWTN Radio. You know, I've been reading all these things with all you affiliates with your anniversaries and everything. That's really nice. One time, Tom Price over there at EWTN would send this out and say, congratulations to Ray Guarendi on his 10th successful show over the last 23 years. Just once. Don't parents have to agree? Isn't that the way it should be when they're raising kids? That's an ideal. It's not real. Parents aren't going to agree. And you know why? Because they have different personalities. They have different temperaments. They have different tolerance levels. They have different observational skills. They have different attachments. They have different schedules. They're not going to agree all the time. Now, you want to get close in your standards and your discipline style. But if that's not possible, for example, women as a group are more verbal than men. Approximately twice as many words per day a woman uses than a man. Now, that's why if a woman drifts into discipline trap, it's usually something along these lines. Talk, talk, nag, nag, repeat, repeat, negotiate. Talk, talk, nag, nag, repeat, repeat, negotiate. Now, a guy, if he drifts into a discipline trap, it's usually something more along these lines. Tolerate, tolerate, oblivious, oblivious, ignore, ignore, kill. Tolerate, tolerate, oblivious. Now, that said, back each other up with your own strength. My wife is a more consistent disciplinarian than I am. She sees things. She knows that there were children in our house. She knew that. She knew their names. She knew their middle names. She knew their birthdays. I knew about 3 of the 10 names. I kept getting them mixed up. I know who you are. You live here. I'll find out. Can ask your mother. Now, that said, I also was the enforcer. Yes, Mom, on the day-to-day of disciplining, took care of a lot of it. Dad was the one she told if there was something big. Wait a minute, Dr. A, this sounds kind of a little bit like wait till your father gets home. That's kind of an archaic throwback, isn't it? No, it isn't. It's Dad backing up Mom. That's what you want to do, guys. When you come home, if you've been away, and you find out from your wife that one of the kids gave her grief, it should rattle your chain too. Yeah, she handled it. Then you handle it too. You add to it. Why? Because if my wife was not happy, I was not going to be happy. That's just the way it was. So that said, what do you do when you disagree? I'll give you a couple of techniques. Establish a few house rules. Most kids misbehave along certain dimensions. Bedtime, bad times, disrespect, arguing, chore shirking, temper tempests, meal ordeals. They're not creative. The same misbehavior usually just repeats itself. All right. What is your house rule? What are you going to do about disrespect? Instead of each time both of you coming to conclusions about what you should do about this one, just have a rule and agree upon it. Get your attorney in there, arbitration, and find out what you're going to do when that 13-year-old gets snotty and snarky and disrespect. Okay? What are you going to do about chore shirking? No privileges begin until chores are done. You can do that. Now, here's one I like. This worked for me and my wife very, very well, and it'll work for you because, and I'll tell you why. The parent who has the stricter discipline rules. Example, I thought that my boys were showing talent by being able to burp the alphabet at the table without taking a breath, all the way to M or N. I thought that was tremendous. I could only go to G. My wife didn't like that. Okay, no burping the alphabet at the table because Mom says no. Even if Dad would say, I don't see any problem with it. I think it's a skill they got to have. Nope, she rules. Another one. Men love the Three Stooges. Women, that's ridiculous. That's not even funny. Those guys aren't even funny. That's just violent. You could get a PhD nuclear physicist, an orthopedic surgeon, the president of a company, and they'll all be sitting there trying to imitate Curly. Oh, wise guy. Hey, you toots. Women don't like that. So my wife did not want the younger kids to watch the Three Stooges. Now, we disagreed on the age. She thought they could watch them after their wedding rehearsal dinner. I thought 7 or 8 was good enough. She ruled. Now, fortunately, she did drop the age down. Now, why does this work? Because most parents are nowhere near too strict. Nowhere near. They're not even close. So the parent who has the higher standard is generally closer to what would be good. If parents are going to err, especially nowadays, they err on the side of permissiveness. They allow stuff they shouldn't allow. They allow a terrible tone of voice in a child talking back to them. No, we don't, Dr. Ray. We don't allow it. Well, what do you do about it? She knows. I tell her. You won't talk that way, young lady. What do you do about it? She hears me. She knows. She can tell by my face I'm upset. What do you do about it? And the times I tell her, we will not tolerate that kind of talk. What do you do about it? You see what I'm saying? So we mistake having a standard for an enforcement of that standard. So the parent who has the higher standard and the better discipline rules. That's good stuff. You could agree with that. Gentlemen, one final point here before we go to Gail from Mississippi. If the ladies are too wordy, too much negotiating, too much reminding, too much talk, too much threatening, step in. Don't let her go on and on. Step in and don't criticize her. You step in and you deal with the child. Guys, one of the reasons why the ladies have trouble with our discipline is not because it's strict or high standard. It's because our style. We get mad. We get angry. We yell. We scream. We intimidate. They don't like that. That makes them feel ill at ease, you know? When my dad intimidated me, my mom liked it. That's your father. Okay. But nowadays, we get ill at ease. So, tone it down. Authority is strength of resolve. It's not volume. It's not emotions. So, all that said, a couple of ways to get along better. Disciplining in the home. 877-57-EQUAL. I'm Dr. Ray. Give me a call. Would certainly love to hear from you.
This Ave Maria program brought to you in part by the following nonprofit.
One of the greatest threats to your family isn't a disaster or a virus, but addiction. In nearly every family and every pew, someone is silently struggling. Beginning July 11th, Shalom World TV and the I Thirst Initiative present Unshackled, a powerful new series on the Catholic Church's response to the addiction crisis, bringing together leading voices to discuss real healing. Stream it free at shalomworld.org or on the Shalom World app today.
Ever get asked one of those tough questions like, do Catholics worship Mary? And in that moment, you freeze? Truthfully, the Catholic AI app gives you answers in seconds rooted in scripture, tradition, and the magisterium. Whether you're navigating a tough conversation, deepening your faith, or looking for daily spiritual guidance, Truthfully helps you know, live, and defend the Catholic faith. Truthfully can be found in the Apple App Store or Google Play. That's Truthfully, Truthly.
Marcus Peter hosts Unveiling the Covenants.
What is a covenant? It's a vowed exchange of lives which results in an unbreakable family bond. Throughout Scripture, God seeks to espouse all mankind to himself in an unbreakable covenant bond. His covenantal love is a free gift, but it necessitates a response from us. We are free to accept or reject it. Let's learn what this means as we unveil the covenants.
Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m. on Ave Maria Radio.
Hi, this is Vanessa Denha-Garmo. Between school, sports, activities, and family commitments, life can get busy. That's why Sylvan Learning now offers personalized one-on-one academic coaching online from home. Whether your child needs help in math, reading, or test preparation, Sylvan creates a customized learning plan designed specifically for their needs. Sylvan Learning Expert Coaching, flexible scheduling, real results. Visit mysylvancoach.com to learn more.
When I was in the second grade, Kathy Shear, who always got straight A's in everything, she's now a lawyer down in Columbus. She always wrecked the curve. And Kathy Shear could spell chrysanthemum. And it was so impressive. This little second grader, CHRYSANTHEMUM. And I started out KRO. Well, I had to keep up with Kathy Shear. So I learned how to spell Gail's home state, Mississippi. And I went in one day with Mrs. Brocker, MISSISSIPPI. And I could do that as a second grader. So say, take that, Kathy Shear. Hi, Gail. Hello there, Gail.
Hi.
There you are. Okay. I've heard this a lot from parents, you know.
Talking about the question, just the information I was given.
Well, the question you have here, and you tell me if we got it right, you have the most anxiety about the thought that your child could go to hell.
To me, that's the worst thing that could happen to a mother.
Okay. It is. It is. Why does that give you so much anxiety?
Because in the Bible it says that hell is eternal, and it's a bottomless pit. And it also speaks of fire, where there's no, like in the Bible, it was someone who wanted a little bit of water to touch his tongue because he was so much in pain. I can't remember who that was. I think it was Lazarus, but not for sure.
Well, here's a couple of things. Let me drop back on this to help you out. The images of hell in the Bible are very graphic, and they are literal: fire, brimstone, smelling, awful. Matter of fact, when Jesus talked about the fires of Gehenna, that was a trash dump outside of Jerusalem. And that was where people just dumped their trash, and the fires were always smoldering and smelly. So Jesus was trying to grab the most intense image he could come up with, or at least the people would understand. Now, there's been a lot of speculation on exactly what hell is. And theologians, and somebody no less than St. John Paul II, said, well, it could be just eternal separation from God, and could be certainly great suffering, but the whole idea that there's fire and all of that could be an attempt to tell you how bad that is. Now, all that said, let's take it to your kids. Yes, there are a lot of people in our lives that if we were the judges, we would have to say, well, they're not paying any attention to God. He doesn't mean anything to them. Matter of fact, they say they believe in him, but they live as though they don't. So I think it's safe to say, depending upon where you hang around, that there are more people in your life that ignore God than who embrace him. Safe statement. So what's God do with all those people? Is that it? They're all just going to fry. That's it. Well, the other thing we know about God is he's infinitely merciful, and he takes into account everything. He takes into account what they know. He takes into account how they're wired. He takes into account everything, Gail. I've got some of my kids who have drifted away from the church. So my wife and I pray for them constantly. She asked me not to pray for them to undo her prayer, but I pray silently so she doesn't know I'm praying for them. But given that, I count on God's mercy because I knew this, Gail. He loves your kids more than you do. Way more. So I think if there's any room for mercy, he's going to be the one to show it. So you got to have peace in that. Here's the other problem. Jesus says, I will give you peace that the world does not understand. Now, as far as I know, in the early manuscripts, there's not an asterisk there that says, unless you're worried about your kid going to hell. So obviously, Jesus wants us to have peace, and he had to know we're not going to have peace if we're dwelling on the fact that our kid could not go to heaven. So somehow, some way, I have peace in knowing that God's going to be a lot more merciful towards my loved ones than I would be. So there's my lecture. And my dear, I'm not going to say, does that help? Because you have no choice but to say, yes, it does, thank you. No, I'm not going to go fishing for compliments. That's just what I got to tell you. You be at peace, I hope. God bless you, dear. Okay, let's see. Boy, good stuff. Okay, let's piggyback off of my opening monologue. And I got to tell you, more women are telling me this, that they are the main disciplinarians in their homes. That what used to be the guys who had the authority is now, he's talking to Stephanie. Okay, well, let's hold Stephanie off. Let's go to Shannon from, it says here, Las Vegas, North Dakota. Is that right? Shannon.
Hi.
You know, I'm starting to think you women don't want to talk to me.
It's Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay, we know Eric. He put ND. He put ND up there. I'm thinking, okay. Yeah, because I can hear the bells and everything in the background there. Okay. So who are you thinking you got to go keep pursuing until the ends of the earth?
Siblings, cousins.
Boy, a bunch of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like I'm always the one calling everybody, aunts, uncles, so on and so forth.
So you're not separated from them. You're just the one always reaching out.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And
that's not an obligation, Shannon, don't you?
That's what I was wondering. I mean, especially since my husband doesn't actually like my family.
Well, it's like this. It's nice of you to do that. It's nice of you to try to keep connections with these people that I would imagine at one time meant more to you than they do now, since they've sort of drifted away. But you're not Christian obligated to keep pursuing them if, in fact, you contact them 7 times for every 1 time they contact you, if at all, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, my feeling on that personally is just, sure, I'll reach out to you. I'll attempt to keep a connection. But it only takes a few times for you to make it real clear to me that you're not reciprocating. I'm not going to hate you. I'm not going to dislike you. I'm just simply going to stop reaching out as much, if at all. Stay there. I got more to tell you about this. 877-57-EQUAL, number to call to get onto the programs. Dr. Ray, close to halfway through already. I'm getting paid by the word. Sometimes people ask me, what would you want people to say about you when you're in your coffin. And I think it would be, look, he's moving. All right, I am talking to Shannon from Las Vegas, Nevada. And she's experiencing something that I imagine a lot of you experience, which is you reach out to people, you try to keep the connection going, whether it's relatives or friends, and what you find is that you're the one pretty much reaching out and they're not reaching back. And Shannon's question is, am I obligated? And my question to Shannon, if she's still there, are you, Shannon?
Hi.
Why do you think you're obligated?
Well, especially with my siblings, my mom really kind of pushed me when she was alive to have a close relationship with them and try to keep in more contact with them.
Well, that's nice.
Now that she's gone, I guess
But are they having a close relationship contact with you?
No. The only time I really get a phone call is like my birthday.
That's it. Once a year, you get a phone call from your siblings.
Yes.
Wow. My dear, now there's two things going on here. One, you're either obnoxious and they don't want to be around you, or two, they're caught up in their own lives and their own activities, and relationships, like sad to say, are not as meaningful to people anymore like they used to be. So that said, maybe you just cut back. Maybe you call them every 3, 4, 5, 6 months, say, just checking in, seeing how you're doing, how's it going? And that's about it. That's me. You know, unless you feel too guilty, so you keep contacting them and then you get frustrated. But you're under no Christian obligation.
I do call like about every 3 months or so.
All right. Well, you're doing a nice thing. You're doing a nice thing, but I would add this to it. It's been long enough now. Don't expect reciprocation. You had many years of evidence, correct?
Yes.
Okay. There you go, my dear. So be at peace about that, because and I've had some friends that I thought were much closer friends than I thought they were. And then I realized, you know what? I'm the one that's always setting up getting together. I'm the one that's saying, let's go do this. I'm the one that, and I thought after a while, I said, wait a minute. I got more stuff to do and more people who would be wanting to connect than for me to keep chasing. And I know it's not me, it's my wife probably. They don't like her. That's what I would guess. Now, I'm not sure of that, but can't prove it. God bless you, dear. Talk to you. Stephanie, are you there now? Stephanie?
Hey, Dr. Ray.
Yes, okay, now, as I was saying before you so rudely ignored me, remind me of girls from college, yes, I'm hearing more and more women say that they're the main disciplinarians. The days of the dad being a strong enforcer are gone. And more of the women, the guys are lazy, or they're oblivious, or they think they turned out just fine. I'm seeing this. So you're the disciplinarian.
I am the disciplinarian, and it's exhausting. And I am, I stay at home with our daughter, and I lay down the law as best I can and have that routine consistently with her. And if something blows up and my husband's home or my husband's around, he exaggerates the discipline. Like, he'll say, well, you're going to be grounded for the next month, the rest of the year. It doesn't make sense. Whereas me, I'll say, no, she's not going to be grounded for the rest of the month. We've got a better course of action to take here.
Yeah, you know what he thinks, though? Stephanie, you know what he thinks? He thinks, okay, when I do step in, you undercut me, right?
True.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's a couple of suggestions to keep it from doing that. First of all, when you said it is exhausting, discipline should not be exhausting. Discipline should be relaxing in the sense that when you're a good disciplinarian, you don't have to discipline as much. And when you don't have to discipline as much, the kid's more cooperative. And when the kid is more cooperative, it's not as hard to discipline him. So if you say it's exhausting to discipline, you were in my office, Stephanie, and you told me that, I would say, okay, Stephanie, we got to look at your style of discipline here because it shouldn't be exhausting. It doesn't take anything to tell your daughter, I asked you to take care of that, honey, and you were rude. Go sit on your bed. I'll tell you when you can come down. And that doesn't take any energy at all. Where the energy is when she resists you and fights you. True?
And she does.
Okay. Then, in other words, you're not disciplining, you're battling with her.
Right.
Your discipline has to be, here's what I asked, here's what I requested, and here's what I'm going to do about it. If you blow me off, you ignore me, you argue with me, you challenge me, you defy me, whatever you do, then you won't be as exhausted. Then here's the second part. You won't be as frustrated, so you won't get all upset. And then when you get all upset, your husband looks at you and says, what a lunatic. What is a crazy lunatic here? You know? All right, you can't do that to your mother, etc. No, so that if he is sloppy in his discipline, you're probably not going to change him. So what you got to do is change you. You got to become way better at this. Less arguing, more follow through, more consistency, more authority. You know, the first time she looks at you and says, I'm not gone to my room, then you look at her and you say, well, then you have absolutely no privileges until you do. That's it.
Right.
You've made your statement there. I'm not going to fight with you, daughter. If you can do that, then you will discipline a lot less. And you don't have to worry about his backup because for whatever the reason, and if he was sitting in my office, I would say, okay, why are you taking a back seat to Stephanie's discipline? What is it? Well, she becomes like a lunatic. She's crazy. You know, she argues with the kid, and I don't argue with the kid. I don't do that. She's the one that gets into it with him. I can't tell which one of them's a 9-year-old.
I know.
See,
I know. And I know at the point where my daughter and I are going back and forth, it's a no-win situation.
No, Stephanie, you don't go back and forth with a kid. When's the last time you won? When's the last time she said, oh, Mother, you're right. I hadn't even realized that. You make such perfect sense because you're the grown-up. Stephanie, anytime you get pulled into a battle with her, you lose. So from now on, you're going to get better at your discipline. Now, I've got all kinds of books on that. I've got all kinds of books on that. Don't tell me you read it.
At least 3.
Well, Stephanie, what are you doing? If you read them, how come you're not doing it?
I am. I just have to.
You got to get better.
Know.
You got to get better at it.
I have to get better. But I have another question, Dr. Ray.
Well, honey, I'm going to have to. You call me back, please. You call me back because I got a bunch of folks waiting here, and I better get to them. Stephanie, bless you. Thanks. This is Dr. Ray. It's one of those fuzzy ethical dilemmas. Stacy calling from Ontario, Canada. There are people she's aware of who have illegal basement apartments. I guess they're not allowed to have basement apartments. I don't know why. Come to America. You're allowed. Hi, Stacy.
Oh, hello there. Thanks for taking my call. So I found this really sweet place. Very nice. And it was the real estate agent who leased me this place. And apparently they're not allowed to lease legal apartments. So I don't know if that's allowed in the States or not, but here you have to have a permit, you have to wait, it's very expensive. So they did some renovations and they hired some plumbers, and probably took some shortcuts and not.
Well, I'm a little confused there, Stacy. The realtor showed you that apartment and said, okay, we'll make it livable for you?
Yep, he showed it to me, and I leased it. And I didn't know it was illegal because I didn't know, what an illegal apartment was. But right now, they moved the floor drain over in the furnace room a couple of feet so they could make a huge bathroom, which should have went somewhere else because there was another floor drain. And now,
so your question is, do I get out of there because it's illegal?
No, I'm smelling a lot of sewage gas, so I brought it to their attention, and they don't seem to do much about it, but they should be scared at the same time because the city will shut them down. So, yes, I know I have to get out of there, but it's really hard to find a place. I'm extremely angry because my dog has come down with a neurological disease that could be the cause of it. I could call the city, and they'll do their own testing, and they will shut this place down.
Well,
so the
maybe
guy had a massive heart attack when I moved in.
So you give
he's in recovery right now.
You give the guy some period of time. You got to take care of this. You got to take care of this, or I will have to get the state to come in and take care of it, or the city, whomever takes care of it. And he'll read between the lines, and he'll recognize, they'll be aware of what I did.
I know. I have done that. I'm just so angry right now. It's
Why
a very common thing.
Stacy, wait, hold on a second. Why are you so angry about this? This isn't anything to be so angry about.
My dog is sick now.
Now the dog is a big deal. We still don't know if that's exactly why. It could be coincidental. We don't know exactly why. But that said, you decide how much time you're going to give it. And if you're worried about, they'll tell you, they're not going to hold you accountable. They'll tell you get out. That's what they'll say. And you can say, I got to find a place. Mm-hmm. See, we got lots of places in America. You know that, don't you?
Oh, I would love to be an American. You're going to read between the lines there.
So you got three things to do here. You let the guy know, okay, here's how much time I'm giving you to take care of this, or I have to turn it in. The second thing you do is you say, okay, I'm out of here. I'm looking for another place. And you start looking. You say, that's it. I'm not staying here. But you don't have to tell him that. And then if he says, you're breaking the lease, you can tell him, I think you'll let me, don't you? Because you don't want me to kind of tell the folks I just found out I shouldn't be living here. So you got all the leverage.
Yeah, very true. I have done all that, but the thing is, if the city comes, they'll fine him $100,000. It's a huge thing here. It's a real big thing here.
Well, then he should know that. Stacy, he should know that.
He should know that.
So apparently, is he incapacitated? Is he in the hospital? Is he unable?
No, he had 2 massive strokes, and he's way better now. Okay. But I approached him, and his wife just stormed at me and said, don't talk to him. I guess they were worried about him. And they said, if you got anything to say it to me. And so
you did. You said it to her. Okay, here's the thing, Stacy. Stacy, you only have so many options. And your option, as you said it, is it's leaking gas. It's going to be a problem. Could have been a problem with your doggy. So therefore, you tell him, this is you're forcing me to do this. I don't want to do it, but you're forcing me to do it. So therefore, you want to avoid this fine. You have him come in, fix it, and then you look for a way to get out of there.
Okay, I will.
Right.
It's just, I just don't understand how people could put safety,
oh, come on.
Money before.
People put money before everything.
Oh, boy, did they ever.
You're saying I wouldn't do that, and that's wonderful that you wouldn't. Unfortunately, to get frustrated because other people don't live according to your moral standards is going to put you in an ongoing frustration.
I know, but in a certain way, I do feel sorry for him, a little bit.
Well, I would too. I would too. All right, love. Thanks for the call.
Okay.
Take care. Let's see. We got Cynthia. Cynthia from Oregon. Hello, Cynthia.
Yes. Hi, Dr. Ray. I was calling because I have a really good husband, and he has a property that
You were calling because you had a really good husband. Most people don't call because they have really good husbands.
Oh, okay. Well, I do, but the situation that he's in right now is not so good, and it's ticking me off. So that's why I'm really calling.
Okay.
Anyway, so my husband, he shared a property with his brother that he inherited, but now he's two nephews that feel entitled to this property. Okay, and they also feel that my husband owes him a chunk of money, which he doesn't. But now it's like my husband, who's been very, very nice all the nephews' lives growing up. Anyway, now my husband is going on a trip with a couple of his guy friends to a game. And I'm all for that, but he's going to take one of his nephew's sons with him, and I'm all for that. But now it's like my husband wants to pay all the expenses for this nephew. It's about a 4-day trip and all that. It's not a big deal, but I'm sitting here and I'm very upset over it because I feel like, my husband he's always nice to them, and they kind of, I don't want him to be a sucker either, because I feel kind of like,
hey, Cynthia, he knows he's being a sucker.
Too nice to the
Cynthia,
family and
Cynthia,
this type of thing.
He knows he's being a sucker.
It's bugging me. Why should we have to pay? And he says, well, yes, but he's not a saved kid. I want to be able to talk to him. Yeah, okay, fine. I get that. He wants to be nice, and he's trying to have his other nephews be saved, and they're not. But the dad of this one, he has a very good job. He could pay. Anyway, so the whole thing is, I don't know why we have to. Plus, I help my husband on the sideline with this property off and on for.
Well, let's go back. Let's go back to the part where the nephews say we should have our share that my dad had, or whatever it is. We should have that share and our uncle's share. They want the part of the property that your husband was bequeathed. He owns that part of the property, right? Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Legally,
so what is their reasoning that they think they should get his part?
Well, they feel it was in the family, and they want to keep this in the family, but they don't want to pay for it.
So they just want it. They just want their uncle's part. Okay.
Been in the family a long time, and that's why.
All right. So does your husband realize that if he tells them, no, you have no legal right to this, that probably he'll never see him again?
Well, it's been, they don't really like him right now because he doesn't give it to him. That's true. I'll say that.
So clearly,
it's been really terrible.
Well, here's the problem. And it was just, if you're listening to our previous call, which you were because you were on hold, she said, I can't believe that people would put money ahead of relationships. Well, here we go. They've more or less said, I'm not going to have anything to do with my uncle if he doesn't give us that share of his property. So he's in a corner, basically. He can say, okay. I don't want a family fight. I don't want a family feud. Here, take it. Doesn't mean that much to me. But here's the question I would have for him, Cynthia. Does he actually think that would make it all better? Or does he think that, in fact, those nephews are acting like spoiled little brats, and it's not going to make it any better if he hands it to him long term? It'll just make it better temporarily. Does he think that?
Yeah, it won't make it any better. I think you're right.
Okay.
I just think they're spoiled brats. They've been given a lot. And
all right. So therefore, he believes...
Is that crappy entitlement? I hate to say it that way, but I hear it all the time. I'm getting so sick of it. But I don't want to be paying out my husband just, because he's talking about, well, he wants to get him saved. And I do too.
Let's go to the second part. Let's go to the second part here, Cynthia. I'm going to have to cut you off because I'm way past break. Second part is this. If he wants to take the nephew's kid for 4 days and pay for it, go for it. Let him do it. He's not being a chump. He knows what he's doing. He knows, yes, my nephews are treating me badly, but I want to take their son to kind of expose him to God on this 4-day trip. All right, that'd be fine. I can do that. Because what he's saying is, Cynthia, I know that you think that I'm being played for a sucker. I'm not. I know what I'm doing. I'm keeping the land, but I do want to take him, and I do want to pay for it. And I don't see any problem with that. I think that's a very kind thing.
Okay, but if he continues to do it all the time and starts taken, and then because there are other.
Well, I can't do anything about that. I can't. I mean, that's his decision. Certainly, do not let this become a marriage problem.
Yeah, well, I think it would become one if he keeps doing it all the time and wanting to pay all the time, and then they're rude to him. I help out, and I'm getting tired.
Okay. Well, then you got to let him know how you think about this, and hopefully he'll find some compromise with you. I got to run here. I'm past break.
Okay,
This is Dr. Ray.
Thank you, Doc.
Today's programming on Ave Maria Radio is brought to you in part by a gift from our day sponsor, the Major Trevor Monfette Memorial Golf Outing. Trevor was a pilot for the Marine Corps and sadly died in 2021 at the age of 37 from colon cancer. Please support this event at Mystic Creek Golf Course on Monday, August 10th. More information is available on Facebook, Major Trevor Monfette Memorial Golf Outing. The last day to sign up is August 3rd.
If you want to be a day sponsor and or want to say a message for a loved one or friend, call 877-288-1077.
Who is more important in our lives than our doctor? One of the tenderest ways to reflect on Jesus is as Christ, the divine physician, the healer of both body and soul. During his earthly journey, Jesus showed great compassion for the sick and the suffering. The Catholic Catechism reminds us the Lord healed every kind of infirmity, mental and physical, making it evident that God had come to visit his people. Yet the Lord did not cure everyone. His healings were meant to point to a more radical healing, when he would, from the cross, effect victory over sin and death. Jesus invites his disciples to follow him by taking up their cross in turn. By following Jesus, his disciples acquire a new outlook on the sick and suffering. They share in Jesus' ministry of compassion and healing. This is Peggy Stanton, and this has been the Order of Malta's Minute with the Catechism.
You're listening to Ave Maria Radio.
Ave Maria Radio. This program is brought to you by the following nonprofit underwriter.
Are you longing to hear God's voice? Lord, Teach Me to Pray, the free Ignatian prayer series will open your heart to his voice, to the peace you are seeking, and the only love that fulfills the human heart, Jesus. God is calling you to true joy, knowing Jesus personally. Lord, Teach Me to Pray is free. Go to LordTeachMeToPray.com, click on the red box, order the Lord Teach Me to Pray series now. Go to LordTeachMeToPray.com.
Dr. Ray Guarendi, an old-fashioned dad trapped in an aging psychologist's body. Let's go to Gina. Hello, Gina. Hi, Gina. I don't know why so many... There you go. I don't know why so many women are so reluctant to talk to me today.
Scary.
What you got going on there?
Well, real quick. So I have a 30-year-old oldest son. He is introverted. I mean, he's been that way since he was little. And my husband and I was always kind of questioning, like, how can we help him? What can we do for him? As far as help him to, get comfortable around people.
Is he living at home?
He lived at home until he was 26, and he finally found a house a half mile from us.
All right, so he's out on his own.
He's got his own place.
Okay. Is he working?
What's that?
Is he working?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Works.
So he's
a work to home to work kind of guy.
Okay. He's independent and he's kind of socially withdrawn.
Right. And when it comes to like birthdays, anybody, he's got a younger brother, but birthdays or Mother's or Father's Day, oh, I forgot it's your birthday. It's just like, come on, dude. And if it's his, he expects something.
You ain't thinking this is your fault, do you?
Yeah, kind of.
Why?
I mean,
how could this be your fault?
As a parent?
How could this be your fault? You can't shape his personality into everything you want it to be. He is who he is. You were responsible for raising him with morals and values, but who he is as an introvert or who he is as somebody who's slipshod about social occasions, you didn't do that. How could you do that? Mm-hmm. Is that how you raised him? Did you say, I want you to be slipshod about social occasions, and I don't want you to be saying thank you, and I need you just to retreat to yourself, okay? So we'll work on getting you to be like that. Did you do that?
No, I guess
of course not.
Because his younger son, or his brother, is total opposite.
I know. That's exactly right. It's my point. Yeah. Did you make the younger son like that? No, you didn't. That's his temperament. Yeah. That's who he's like. It's himself. Yeah. So I would say with the 30-year-old, Go ahead, dear.
I say it just gets aggravating because we just had, some stumps ground for him. Somebody at church said, "Hey, yeah, I got a stump grinder. I'll do that." My husband and I cut the trees down for him. Did we get a thank you? Did that guy get a thank you? And it's like, I look at my son going, "Come on, you need."
Well, that might tell you something, Gina. That might tell you something for the future.
Okay.
You pick and choose a little more carefully what you're going to do for him if he's not going to show any signs of gratitude toward it.
Well, then maybe I shouldn't do anything for him.
Well,
I mean, that's always the case.
Well, then if that's always the case, he's kind of telling you. He's sort of not putting the effort into saying, "Thank you, Mom. I appreciate it, Mom. What can I do for you, Mom? Here's a gift, Mom." If he's not doing anything like that, and you call it introverted, it may be introverted, but it also sounds kind of a little bit entitled, ungrateful.
Okay.
So if that's the case, then you are more careful.
I don't know if I'd call it entitled or ungrateful. I think that
I got to let you go, honey. They're telling me the 22nd morning. You call back, and Dan, you call back too. Love to get to you. By the way, go to the Quest Atlanta if you'd like to sign up for the TV show, 18th and 19th of August. Sign up there. You can come and be in the audience. Love to have you. Living Right with Dr. Ray. Walk with God. To Atlanta if you have to.
For information on Dr. Ray's presentations, books, and CDs, visit drray.com and follow him on Facebook and Instagram. The Doctor Is In is a co-production of Ave Maria Radio and EWTN Radio and carried across the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.